Bismillah. Okay, good afternoon, class. So today we're looking at the Leadership College, paper 1, November 2016. Okay. So yesterday we got up until question 6. Yeah, 6. We ended with at question 5. So we'll start with question 6, correct? Alright. So in question 6 we are told that S, which is 1 and 18, is the turning point of f of x equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So we're just going to write this here. So f of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So that equation is not given. P and t are the x-intercepts of f, which is on the graph, I'm sure. Okay. Then we are told that the graph of g of x equals negative 2x plus 8, and has an x-intercept at t, which is the common x-intercept there. R is the point of intersection of the two graphs. Okay. So with that information, we need to answer the following questions. Right, the first question says, calculate the coordinates of t. Calculate the coordinates of t. So if you're looking at t, 6.1, the coordinate of t, which is this point here. So t is what to us? Your x-intercept. Now we can't go with the equation of the parabola. Why? Because we don't have the equation of the parabola. However, we work out the x-intercept of the straight line, which is g of x. What do? We let y equal to 0. So we say 0 is equal to negative 2x plus 8. X then works out to be 2x equal to 8, which is 4. So t is going to be 4 and 0. The next question they ask us to determine the equation of f in the form of f of x equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, showing all working, or all calculations. So something you must note here is that if you're given the equation, if we need to determine the equation, it depends on what is given to us. As you can see here, we are given the turning point. So we must write the standard form of the parabola given the turning point, using the turning point. So this is y is equal to a into x minus p squared plus q. When p and q forms your turning point. So it's going to be a into x minus 1 squared plus 18. So in order to calculate a, I must substitute the point that's lying on this graph, which is t. So I'll substitute t, which is 4 and 0. So that's the x and the y. So 0 is equal to a times 4 minus 1 squared plus 18. So 4 minus 1 is 3 and 3 squared is 9. So minus 9a is equal to 18, a is then equal to negative 2. So I got y is equal to negative 2 into x minus 1 squared plus 18. I can leave it like that, or, no. I need to write it out because that's the format they wanted. Okay, so we multiply this out. Gives us negative 2 into x squared. So that's going to give you negative 2x, so it's plus the 4x. That's minus 2 plus 18 is going to give you 16. So the equation of your parabola now reads f of x equals negative 2x squared plus 4x minus plus 16. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Yes? Yeah, if you figured what p is, then you use that other formula. Remember that is 1 and 4, that's from 1 to 4, so that's 3. So p is actually negative 2 and 0, correct?
Yes.
Then you use that other formula that says y is equal to a into x minus x1, x minus x2. Then it's going to be a into minus 2, x minus 2 and x minus 4. And then I substitute s, which was the turning point, which was 1 and 18. 1 and 18, so it's going to be 18 is equal to a times 1 plus 2, 1 minus 4. That's going to give you 3 and negative 3, so a works out to be negative 2. So y is equal to negative 2 into x plus 2 into x minus 4, which now gives you negative 2x squared plus 4x plus 16. It's the same. Okay. Any other confusion? So let's look at the next question. The next question says 6.3, 6.4, 6.5. Let's pull this up. In 6.3 we are told if f of x equals negative 2x squared plus 4x plus 16, which now confirms we are correct. Okay? Now, if you got a different equation to equation 6.2, you can't use the equation you have derived. Okay? Or the equation you came up with. If your equation is different, you must use what is given to you. Okay? So in 6.3, if f of x equal to negative 2x squared plus 4x plus 16, calculate the value of r. People, what is r to us? That is our point of intersection. How do we calculate the points of intersection? We say the two graphs equal to each other. So we set f of x equal to the g of x graph. So f of x is negative 2x squared plus 4x plus 16 equals negative 2x plus 8. Take everything to one side since it's quadratic, so 2x squared minus 6x minus 8 is equal to 0. And you can divide by 2 if I like. You can use a quadratic formula. Or I just use a calculator. So x is equal to 4, which also confirms that's the other point of intersection. So x is equal to 4 or x is equal to negative 1. Okay. But they ever answer the question? No. Which one of the two is it? Of course it has to be the negative one, as 4 is the t value already, the t coordinate. So what do I do with that? I either substitute it into the parabola or the straight line. I'm going with the straight line since it's easier to work with. That gives me an answer of 10. Therefore r is going to be negative 1 and 10. Okay. Next question. It says now use your graph to solve for x where in the first case, okay, we just need to bring this up and down. The first case where f of x is less than or equal to g of x. Okay. 6.4. Where is f of x less than or equal to g? So this is where the f of x graph is under the g of x graph, or the g of x graph is on top of the f of x graph. So if you're looking from the left, from the far left, is f or g on top? What is f on top or is g on top? F is on top. So f is on top, g is on top till the point R. Not so? So there, that satisfies what we're looking for. Not so? Then, what do you notice then? F is on top again. F is greater than, until which point? T. And the other side of TG is on top. Can you see that? Is this a continuous or a breaking solution? A breaking solution. So in other words, x is less than -1 or x is more than 4. You see there's an equal sign as well. Is the graphs equal at -1? Yes. Are the graphs equal at 4? Yes. Let's look at the next question. The next question says, where's negative, this is, use the other color, so 6.4.2, where's negative 2x squared plus 4x minus 2 less than 0? So what do we notice here about this question? F of x, negative 2x squared plus 4x minus. What do we notice about this? It's actually the, yes, it's the f of x graph that is shifted. Not so. I don't know it's shifted because if I look here and there. So what's the only difference is that the y value. So what actually happens to this f of x graph? If this is the f of x graph opposed to that question. This graph shifted, how many units? 18 units down. Not so. What's the coordinates of this turning point? 1 and 18. So it means to say that this graph, if I move that 18 units down, then that graph will lie on that turning point. And this turning point in this case would be 1 and 0. Can you see if I move that graph 18 units down? Again, how do I know I moved 18 units down? It's moving from positive 16 to negative 2. Okay? But the question says, where is this graph, which is the green graph here now, less than 0? What do you notice about this? We look at this graph now. There was 1 here. What do you notice? That's y is equal to 0. This graph is always less than 0. Everywhere along this curve is less than 0. Not so. So in other words, where is that function less than 0? Is less than 0 for x is an element of all real numbers. But what happens at 1? At 1 the graph is equal to 0. Not so. So therefore, x is not equal to 1. So in other words, x is an element of all real numbers, x is just not equal to 1. Or you could have said x is less than 1 or x is greater than 1. Okay. Let's look at the next question. I'm going to take this out here. Okay, the next question says 6.3. F is an increasing function. F is an increasing function. (6.4.3). People, on this side of the graph, is this graph increasing or decreasing? For f, it's increasing. It's increasing till where? Till x is equal to 1. On the other side of 1, what do you notice? The graph is decreasing. Can you see that? So in other words, the graph is increasing for x is less than 1. At 1 is neither increasing nor decreasing. It's a turning point. Okay. The next question, it says determine the average gradient. Determine the average gradient. So again, I'm going to take this off here. Determine the average gradient of f between x is equal to minus 5 and x is equal to minus 3. So what I do is, I work out f of minus 5. So wherever I see a x, I put a minus 1. Okay? Negative 2 into negative 5 squared plus 4 times negative 5 plus 16. And I do the same for f of minus 3. So it will be negative 2 into negative 3 squared plus 4 times negative 3 plus 16. That gives us you got negative 2 times answer squared plus 4 times answer plus 16. Oops. So that's going to be negative 5 in the first case. Oops. So it's negative 54, is that correct? Huh? Negative 54. And then we put negative 3 in as well. That gives us negative 14. Huh? So for the average gradient is the same, like we will calculate gradient, but here's this f of b minus f of a over b minus a. So it's negative 14 minus negative 54 over negative 3 minus minus 1. So that gives us an answer of negative 14 plus 54 over negative 3 plus 1. So they give you 20. Is that correct? Huh? No. Huh? So not correct. Negative 5 plus 3. And on top? It was the same.
Negative 5.
Okay, so we got negative 5. And in your numerator, what do you have? Negative 54 plus 14. Negative 5 plus 3. I got 20. The answer is 20 in both cases. You must remember, if you look at the gradient, okay, the gradient was y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x4. If you go with a and b, if that's x and y, and b is x and y. If you made this x1, that must be y1. If this is x2, that must be y2, and vice versa. If you made this x1 and that y1, x2 and y2, it must give you the same ones. You understand? The trick is, or the important thing is, if that is x1, that must be y. That is why I got the answer 20 in both cases. Okay. Alright. Next. 6.5 and 6.6. This is still part of the sum. 6.7. Okay, so now we're looking at question 6.6. It says L is the point on the parabola and M is the point on the straight line, which is those 2 points in question. Okay, such that LM is parallel to the y-axis. Show that the expression of LM can be written as. What do we notice about this is that is in the completion of the square form. Can you see that? Right, so how do we calculate the distance between two graphs? Lm is going to be the top graph, which is your f of x, minus your g of x graph. Can you see that? So what is the equation of f of x? negative 2x squared plus 4x plus 16 minus g of x, which is negative 2x plus 8. So you're going to be negative 2x squared plus 4x plus 16 plus 2x minus 8. It's negative 2x squared plus 6x plus 8. But that is not what they gave us, not so. So what do? I need to complete the square. So I take out negative 2 as a common factor. So it's x squared minus 3x minus 4. Is that okay? What must be added here to complete the square with? Is b times r, which is 3 over 2 squared minus 9 over 4. Whatever we add, we must take away again. Is your perfect square trinomial. So it's negative 2 into x minus 3 over 2 squared minus 16 plus is going to be 25 over 4. Okay. But you see that negative 2 on the outside, so what we do is we multiply that negative 2 in. It then gives us negative 2 into x minus 3 over 2 squared plus 25 over 2. Okay. You all okay with that? And that is what is given there, as you can see. Okay. Then the next question says, hence, state the maximum length of Ln. Now 6.7. The maximum length of Lm. What's the maximum length of Lm? It's going to be 25 over 2. And occurs at x is equal to 3 over 2. Okay. What if they'd ask you to determine the maximum length of the square root of Lm? They ask you to then state the maximum length of the square root of Lm. Why am I writing 4? Lm. We have just worked out, yes? What do you say? Square root of 25 over 2, which is 5 over root 2. Or you could have left it like it to work it out as 5 root 2 over 2. Any one of those is or the decimal. Okay, you guys understand? All of that is acceptable. Alright, let's carry on. Question 7. In question 7, we are told that the probability that event A will occur 0,3, the probability that B will occur 0,5, and the probability that event A and B will occur 0,15. So probability of A is 0,3, probability of B is 0.5, the probability of A and B is going to be 0,1. That's the intersection. Are events A and B mutually exclusive? The answer is no. Why? Because the probability of A intersection B is not equal to 0. Mutually exclusive means to say, it's like that. There's no overlap. Okay? However, there is an overlap here of 0,15. So therefore, they are not mutually exclusive. Are events A and B independent? What do we know what happens for independent events? The probability of A times the probability of B must be equal to the probability of A intersection B. So we work out the probability of A times the probability of B. That is going to be 0,3 times 0,5, which is 0,15. The probability of A intersection B is 0,15. So we say since the probability of A times the probability of B is equal to the probability of A intersection B. Since that is the case, therefore, events A and B are independent events. Okay? So one event is not dependent on the other to occur. Okay? The next question, okay, that's still pertaining that there. 7.1.3, it says determine A, not A or B. Okay, so we know that the complementary rule will kick in here. 7.1.3. We know that the probability, so that would be the same as 1 minus the probability of A union B. Okay, it was the complementary bit. So we need to work out the probability of A or B, but we know that's going to be the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A intersection B. That's your probability identity. Okay, so that is simply A union B will be 0,3 plus 0,5 minus 0,15. The 0,8 is 0,65. 0,65 is correct. So therefore, the probability of A union B not is going to be 1 minus 0,65, which is 0,35. Is that correct? Check if it's correct. Right, good. Okay, so a survey was conducted about broadcasting of certain television program. 150 males and 100 females were interviewed. The table below shows the results. Like the program, a certain program was a survey. So you got males 60, females A, and total 30, 130. Did not like the program B, females 30, total C, and the total 150, 100, and D. Calculate the values of A, B, C, and D. People talk, this two-way contingency table, we know that 60 plus A is equal to 130, B plus 30 is equal to C, 150 plus 100 is equal to D. We know that 60 plus B is 150, A plus 30 is 100, 130 plus E is D. We know that, okay? So let's work this out here quickly. So your A value, of course, A is going to be 130 minus 60, which is, sorry, 70. Okay. B, 60 plus B is 150, so it's 150 minus 60, which is 90. C, 90 plus 30 is 120. And D is going to be 150 plus 100 is, people, did I have to show all of that there? No. You just write A is 70, B is 90 and so on. Alright. Let's look at the next question. Is a person's preference of the program independent of a person's gender? Support your answer with appropriate calculation. So for independent events, if one way is independent, all ways are independent. Okay. So what I do is I say, okay, the probability, I'm going to go with this here. No? Probability of a male and likes male intersection likes a program is going to be 60 out of 250. Okay? So 60 out of 250 gives an answer of 12 over 50, which is 6 over 25. Okay? So we work out what's the probability of male times the probability of likes the program. The probability of it being male is 150 over 250 times the probability that likes the program is 130 over 250. Okay? So it's 150 divided by 250 times 130 divided by 250. It's 39 over 125. So is this an example of independent events? No. So we say since the probability of male intersection likes a program is not equal to the probability of male times the probability of likes the program. Therefore, the events are not independent. Or we can say the events are dependent. Okay? Then the next question is the last one, question 8. What's supposed to be here? Or is it 7? Okay, so 250 people were asked to state what they drink. Coffee, tea, Milo. 27 indicate that they do not drink any of the three. So this is of course a Venn diagram. Not so. I'm going to make it a bit bigger. Okay, so 250 people were surveyed. Okay. They like coffee, okay, tea or Milo. Okay. 27 indicated that they do not drink any of the three. Something wrong with the 27? 145 drank coffee, so that is 145. 130 drank tea, so it's 130 here. 90 drank Milo, 90. Then we are told that 25 drank all three, that's my type of person, I'll be there. 60 drinks coffee and tea. Now, coffee and tea, so this part is 60. Can you see that? But 60 minus 25 gives us what? 35. Not so? So how many people drinks coffee and tea only? 35. 35 drink Milo and tea. So this here, Milo and tea, that is going to be 35. Not so? So minus 25 would give you 10. So that means you're saying 10 drinks Milo and tea only. Okay. So let's see what we have here. Then we are told that draw a Venn diagram. Draw a Venn diagram of this information and determine how many people drink Milo and coffee. Milo and coffee. Okay, so it's this part here. I don't think I even answered that question in the memo. So the question says, sorry? Yeah, I did all, but here the question says, determine how many people drank Milo and coffee. So whatever this is, I had to add the two together and conclude it. I don't think I even did that. Okay, but anyway. So, what can be calculated? T only. So it's going to be 130. 130 minus 35 minus 25 minus 10. So that gives us 10. Gives us 60. Okay. Then, for this one here, I need to introduce an x here. Not so. So I'm going to say let x equal people who drink coffee and Milo only. Can you see that? So if that is x, that can represent this in terms of x. Not so. So I'm going with that one first. So that that equal space is equal to 90. What's it, 90 or 96? Sorry? 90. Okay, so it's going to be 90 minus 25 minus 10 minus x. Okay, is that correct? So it's going to be 90 minus 25 minus 10, so it's 90 minus 35. It's going to give you 55. So it's 55 minus x. There goes 55 minus x. And then for this one here, that empty space is going to be 145 minus 25 minus 35 minus x. So it's going to give you 60. So it's going to be 85. So 145 minus 25 minus 35 will be 85 minus x. Okay. So in pursuit of calculating x now, we need to say that this whole set here, let's go to the set here, okay, is 145 plus 55 minus x plus 10 plus 60 plus 27 is equal to the total, which is 250. So minus x is equal to. So instead of saying 145 here, I could have said 85 minus x plus 35 plus 25 plus x. Once you do that simplification, you'll also see you come to 145. Okay? But if you don't see it like that, then you just do the long way. It's no problem. So it's 250 minus 27 minus 60 minus 10 minus 55 minus 145. That gives you negative 47. Is that correct? So x works out to be 47. So that's correct, no? So if that is 47, now I forgot the numbers. So if this is 47, and this would be 47. 85 minus 47? 48. 38. And then 55 minus 47. Sorry? 8. And there we go. Okay? Then you answer the question. And it wasn't answered in the memo. It says, determine how many drink coffee and Milo. So therefore, the number that drinks coffee and Milo is going to be 47 plus 25, which is 60, 72. Okay, as I said, that's not answered. Did you who answered that when they did when they worked through the paper? No. Yes.
Oh, this only marked right because it's technically equivalent.
You see, if it was how many drink coffee and Milo only, then 47 is in the diagram. Okay, but because it is the combination of the two, something else is also tested. It's testing if you know that you have to add the two values. Okay, and that's why it was 7 marks. Normally a Venn diagram is like 6 or 5. Okay, so when I was looking now, I say, hey, this is pretty high here. Okay, pretty high for that question. Alright, so let's look at the next question. We are told that. Okay, so let's take this off here so we can have some space to work in. So the question now says, if a person is chosen at random, determine the probability that the person only drinks coffee. In 8.2.1, person drinks coffee only. So coffee only is 38. Can you see that? So the probability of coffee only is going to be 38 out of 250. 38 out of 250 give an answer of 19 over 25. 19 over 20. 125. Okay. Last question says, drinks Milo or tea. Probability is 8.2.2. Milo or tea. Or union tea. So Milo or tea is the whole of the Milo, which is 90, plus 35 plus 60. And this is all over. Okay. You all agree with that? 90 plus 35 plus 60, all over 250. Gives you 37 over. Okay, is that correct? Yes?
Can you just say 250 minus 538 and 20?
Yep. So you're saying I could have said this as well. The complement I could have taken. So 8.2 would have been easier. So it's the probability of Milo OT is equal to 1 minus the probability of Milo OT not. Okay. So it's 1 minus everything that's not involved is 38 and 27. No? So it's 27 plus 38 over 250 gives you 37 over 50. Okay. It's going to become very useful if you know how that complementary event actually works as you are applying it. Okay. See later on in more papers it comes up more often. Okay. The next question says okay, I'm just going to take this color out here. I thought you were on the last already. So now we are told that drinks coffee and not tea. The probability, so 8.2.3 drinks coffee but not tea. So what we do is we sketch out the tea. So drinks coffee is that one and that one. You guys understand? So it's going to be probability of coffee and not tea. Tea, not. So it's going to be 38 plus 47 over 250. Which gives an answer. 38 plus 47 over 17 over 50. Is that correct? Alright, and the last question, 8.2.4, drinks neither coffee nor tea. So you take out all the coffee, all the tea. So what is going to be? The probability would simply be 8 plus 27 over 250. Why am I adding 27? Because it's not of that group. Okay. So the only thing you must take out is the coffee or tea. Everything else stands. You see, if it had said drinks neither coffee nor tea, but one of the beverages, then I would have considered 8 only. Okay. So that will give you an answer. 8 plus 27 over 250. Give you 7 over 50. Okay, any confusion there? Right, so that basically brings us to the end of our paper 1. Leadership, is there a paper 2 to this paper? Okay, so it's the 20 November 2016. So that paper I must still cut. Paper 2 for tomorrow. So November 2016 TLC. So the first half of the paper needs to be done for tomorrow's lesson, okay? How much time do you have left? 3 minutes. Okay, maybe we can start the paper. No, we can't. Was this paper coupled with that paper? Let's check there quickly. Because why is this paper here now?
Yes.
Is this coupled with that paper?
You see, sir, by the sources thing, you removed it and wrote crazy with TLC. But it's the exact same thing.
The exact same paper. Oh, I used exactly the same paper. November 2017. That's when I swapped schools, I remember. Nobody noticed. Besides that one. She noticed the complimentary event and she made, wow. You're in for good things, you say next year. Right. Oh, that's why I already said I already used it. When it comes to question 2, I want you to work out the standard deviation. You see here it says already used. No? Used already. What I want you to calculate there is this, the mean, the standard deviation, and the percentage that lies within one standard deviation of the mean. Okay. I cut out that questions for what reason I don't know. Okay. But otherwise the rest of the paper is fair game for tomorrow. Okay. The first half of the paper. Right, I'll stop the video at this point.